I want you to see my skirt, but like you can't, but I have a skirt. So I have some news. I'm going by a different name now. So no longer Anjalee Jasmine, that is gone. My new name is Rowan Blackwood. Yeah, and I can't say it feels so freeing to finally say that. I've been waiting for this for a couple months, maybe longer. Definitely planning it for about a month. But yeah, so if you know me, then you know I am transgender non-binary, and that hasn't changed. Changing my name partly, well, largely because of my gender. I didn't want a feminine name, and Anjalee is a feminine name. So, but I also didn't really want one that was too masculine. I just wanted one that was neutral enough, that felt right. And I've tried one in the past with just a few friends, and that didn't feel right. I just kind of let that go and never officially said it was off or on. But anyways, I started looking for a new name again, and when I came across Rowan, it felt right. And then the other part of the update, which is a little more minor, is, trans non-binary. My pronouns are they, them, but recently I am updating them to they, them, and he, him. So basically what that means is you can use either they or he to refer to me, or both, or switch between them, which is also pretty awesome if you do that. But, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I've been figuring out a lot of things lately with identity and such, and part of what came with all of this is I'm kind of gender fluid. What do you know? Sometimes friends will check in with me each day to see how I'm feeling for gender and what my pronouns are for that day, which I don't expect everyone to do. I know that is a lot, and with social media and everything, it's tricky. So they, them, and he, him, use whichever, whenever, it's fine. But if you do know me and you do want to check in, or you're going to, post something of us and whatever, like if you want to check in, that's great. I really appreciate that. But again, I don't expect that from anybody. I don't expect that from everybody. A little bit more about the name. I chose Rowan when I came across it I was just looking through lists and stuff. Like, it fit really well. It was one of the 2 or 3 names I even wrote down as possibilities. But it also reminded me of this book I read when I was a kid. I really wish I could remember what it was called. I'm sure it'll come back to me at some point, but there was this character, not even the main character, but like a secondary character or whatever, named Rowan, and she went by Red, but the name Rowan was like a protection in itself. In the story, you had to keep your name a secret from these other people, and because if they found out your name, it was like a powerful thing, they could use it against you. So that was the whole thing, which is part of why the character went by Red. But then when they did find out her name was Rowan, then that itself was a protection, because it means protection, courage, and wisdom. And for me, that was just really powerful. That was a kind of meaning I wanted to have behind my name. It represents a lot for me for many reasons, but knowing that meaning from reading the story and looking further into it and everything, like, that's my name, that's me. And Blackwood, it's funny, people ask me how I got Blackwood more than they ask me how I got Rowan. But Blackwood, it was much harder to find a last name than a first name, I'll definitely say that. I wrote down so many last names, and then I'd be like, okay, not this, but something like this, and then have like 10 names. But Blackwood that one's pretty simple. It just felt best. I'm playing with my skirt. I'm not used to wearing skirts because I've like pushed some of this stuff away for a long time, and some of it was internal, some of it was external, but excuse me. But I'm like embracing all parts of me now, and that is a huge freedom that I wish I had all along, ever since figuring my gender out the first time and coming out and everything. But I think it's good that I went through this process, because every step is really powerful and meaningful, and it just means I'm getting closer and closer to who I am, and I'm being a happier person. And that's what this is really about, that this makes me happy. And I know for people especially that have known me for a long time, it's gonna take time to adjust to my new name, possibly the pronouns, but as long, like, if an effort is made, that means the world, and it'll come in time. So yeah, I'm also excited. I know I've already released 2 songs under Anjalee Jasmine, and I won't be able to change them to say Rowan Blackwood, but for future projects I will. And luckily it's only 2 songs, it's not a whole album or anything. They're both singles, you know, there's nothing I can do now, and I'm okay with that. That's okay, because the next projects will say Rowan Blackwood, and it'll be great. A little more on the gender fluid topic. If you have any questions about that or about anything, of course, reach out to me. I will always welcome that. I love getting questions. Like, go for it. But anyways, so every person is different, for sure, which is also why you should ask questions, because every person is different. And, you know, for me, being gender fluid, I am like, I don't necessarily go from I am female today to I am male tomorrow to I am non-binary the next day. I am just all over the place, in the spectrum, outside the spectrum, a mix. Sometimes I can be several genders at once, and it's quite a lot, but it's kind of fun too, honestly. But yeah, there's no black and white. It's all, for me at least, it's all just all over the place. So there's actually a cool gender chart that I will be sharing on Instagram that I use daily, because it's a better representation than just like male to female linear spectrum, because that's not how gender is, I think. Because for me, it always be like, well, if this is the spectrum, I'm either like in a void in the middle or somewhere not on that line. But looking at this chart, like, it shows a better representation, I think, than just a line. So there's that to look forward to if you're curious. And yeah, I do still have a feminine side, which is something that I have pushed away, because I was like gatekeeping myself for a long time, which is why I didn't even think I could be gender fluid or anything else. I like had some idea of what I thought being non-binary was, or what it had to be for me, and I was always like, this is what this means, and if I do something that doesn't match that, then that must mean something else, and that's not true. I can't have that, I can't do that. And that is not a healthy way to live your life, is gatekeeping yourself. It's not good. But I've been working on that a lot, and now it's like, I can wear a skirt, or I don't have a dress, but I will get a dress at some point, and I will wear a dress. And then other times I will wear a suit, and I will kill it in a suit. Or I will make some kind of mix between a suit and a dress. I saw some awesome posts of someone gender fluid that was like going to prom, and they didn't know how they were gonna feel on the day of prom, so they made this like half suit, half dress sort of outfit, and it was killer. It was so good, and I strive to be that person. But because that's the thing, I would see posts and things of gender fluid people every now and then. Not that often, because I just don't see it that often, but I was like, oh, that's cool, or like it just seems like fun, and it seemed interesting, and it seemed freeing, and yet I never considered it or let myself. But here we are. Turns out I thought it was so cool because it was me. I think I just called myself cool. That was not intentional, but I mean, I'll take the compliment from myself. This is such a weird video. Also, I got my rainbow flag up. I love it. I put my trans flag up in the other room the other night, and it makes me so happy. It's just like a symbol of strength and pride, and I love it. It makes the room happier. It's great. Because like, all this gender stuff doesn't have to be a hard, harmful thing. Like, it is hard. It is difficult to navigate, especially with other people, but it's also just, it can be fun. It can be freeing, and it's a good thing. I've been thinking too of sharing a little bit more with y'all, and you know, of course I gotta keep my privacy and boundaries and stuff like that, but I do want to share a little bit more about my experience and my journey with gender, just the gender fluid. This is fun to kind of show like how I'm feeling, and playing with gender expression and clothes and dressing up and all that. That's just fun, so I'll probably share some of that stuff, but also like the mental health stuff and things I've been trying that have helped me even just recently, and of course music and projects, as always. There's gonna be more of that. I've got a lot of fun plans coming up. I have so many things to share, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. This is kind of on a side note, like tangent, but a lot of changes have happened in my life at once, or pretty close timeline. So I recently gave my dog away. So that's why you don't hear crying in the background or scratching as her paws go across the floor, and I haven't shown her. It is sad, but it was my decision. I don't have the time to put in that she deserves, and I really tried my best to take care of her and give her a good life and everything. But it was just getting to be too much, and it wasn't good for either of us really. So I found her a really good home, and she's happy now. I'm happier, even though I really miss her. I'm happy that she's happy, and I'm confident that she is in her new place. So that's kind of another update, so I don't be seeing her in any more videos or any more photos, anything. But I did kind of take that as an experience to write about in a video you'll see very soon on Instagram. So watch for that, because kind of a negative thing turned positive. Yeah, I'm also moving. It's been like gender stuff, just identity in general, like the dog, moving, like spending more time with family and stuff. Even though quarantine, like I at least get to see like my mom and my sister and the friends I'm going to be moving in with. So it's just a lot is happening, but it's healthy. It's healthy. I'm just rambling. I've been rambling for a while. I'm sure there's better ways I could say things, or more things I could say, but again, questions, comments, concerns, reach out to me. And thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited for all of the new things coming up, projects included, and also to share more with you guys, because that's something that's important to me, and I want to be there for you. and I want to be the representation that I haven't seen in the media. I want to fill that kind of empty space, as well as build up other people that aren't getting built up as much because we're not used to seeing that representation. So yeah, my name is Rowan Blackwood. My pronouns are they, them, and he, him. I am non-binary, gender fluid, transgender, pansexual. I could go on, but thank you, and see you soon.